Brikx, also known as Rich, another awesome LEGO content creator who focuses on the AFOL community. You can catch him in live streams all over, or with Chris from Brikx in their own LEGO podcast, Some Assembly Required. Plus, take a look at his newly approved Bricklink store. This was not a paid advertisement for the Cali Brick Clique, but it's really rocking with you, Rich.
Yeah, I got it. I just don't one of these YouTubes that sticks in your face.
Yeah. Well, no, the audio quality is up. You know that, right?
Your audio sounds way better if you do that.
Does it sound better now?
Yeah, a lot better. Yeah.
Easy. Good. Ninja in 5, 4, 3.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Cali Brick Clique. This is episode 28. And before we get into it, you can find this on all your podcast streaming platforms, whichever one you choose. Apple Podcasts. I believe it's on Google also, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So we got Claire, Shy,
Hello.
yeah, and a special guest, Greg from London Bridge Bricks.
Hey, how we doing?
What's happening?
What up? How's
So
everybody doing? Yeah. Oh, I just said it for you. My bad.
You're just gonna steal it? No, I'm just kidding.
I just stole it. Whatever. My bad. There was a quick pause. I wasn't sure if you were going to do it, so I just went right into it. How was everybody's 4th of July? Well, us three.
Oh, that's right.
Is it fitting to be, doing this on the week of 4th of July and we have a red coat?
With his
I thought I'd sport
Americana.
quite American, so I thought I'd go. I thought, oh, shall I go down the British flag scenario?
the man t-shirt is where it's at, definitely.
Give me some Hamilton there, but I'm going to be diplomatic. How many icons can I get on one screen at one time?
There you go.
But most of my family, in all honesty, folks, not everyone knows this, but most of my family are actually American.
Right, they're in New Jersey, right? Did you say that?
Yeah, New Jersey. I've got a couple in Florida as well. I think I've got a cousin, Susan, down in California. So, might have me down there one day. And,
visit Susan. Or you could come visit us and then maybe have a coffee with Susan,
Yeah,
but coffee with Susan. I tell you, if I'm going to go anywhere in the world to have a coffee with anyone, it's going to be a coffee with you, Claire. Blimey.
Okay, good. No, you're staying with us, though. Yeah, you're like...
Just good for home.
No, my 4th of July was great. I actually hosted for the first time in a long time, like a solid 8 people.
Wow.
Well, everybody was busy on 4th of July. I mean,
Shy,
you did
you're
it in the afternoon / evening for the most of the states, and everybody's usually out on 4th of July.
So many of my friends were out of town. It was a whole thing. Yeah, but we had like 8 people over. We barbecued up on my rooftop. It was great.
Oh, nice. Did you have good weather for it? You always got to have good weather for a barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Nice. And did it feel strange though when you was doing it? Did it feel like, oh God, I've lost some sort of social etiquette or something like that? Did you have any of that sort of anxiety?
No, I mean, it was okay. Like a little bit. Like I definitely put spoons in a lot of the dishes that I normally wouldn't put spoons in, and things like that for distribution. Like I definitely had extra napkins. I brought sanitizer up there. It was a bit more.
Yeah. So you felt you were responsible.
Yeah.
I mean,
does anyone hear an echo?
Yeah, is that me?
No, it's not me. I can tell you that.
I don't know. I've been muted.
Okay, so it is me. Is that better?
Yeah, a lot better. It's gone.
Okay, it was me. I'll just blame myself. It's totally fine.
It's fine. Don't worry. It's okay. No, but I didn't even see fireworks. Like you have to have really low expectations for fireworks in San Francisco because the fog is so bad that like unless even it like gets canceled all the time or you can't see them and there's always like random people in the streets like doing it. But yeah, we saw some like from far away, just like a little bit or whatever. But I'm not into them anymore. I think I'm over it. Having a pet makes me like not into them. They're not sustainable. And then living through fire season multiple years in a row and being like a very bad asthmatic. I'm like, I hate fireworks. I hate them. I hate gender reveal parties. I hate all
I get it.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I see all these like illegal fireworks and next to like open fields of dry brush. And I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Like waiting for the next fire.
Midsummer.
Summer. It's time. But I don't know if we're gonna get a bad one this year because of the past two, everything's burnt down already. So there's just growing up again.
Yeah.
There's nothing else left to burn.
Yeah, there's nothing else to burn.
I mean, they're doing controlled fires over here.
Yeah,
so.
at least we're doing that now. So that's definitely helping.
Mhm.
So I guess we'll see. I mean, for me though, this was the first year like my neighborhood wasn't a war zone.
Okay.
Usually like the fireworks would start like a week ago and then go on for another week every night, all day. But I don't know if you guys saw on the news down here in LA, there was a huge raid on a firework, like on secret fireworks, whatever little sting that happened in South Central, where they found like thousands upon like fireworks for illegal fireworks to sell.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but the thing is that the bomb squad, the truck that they used to destroy it, what the hell? Blew up and injured 17 people.
No.
Yeah, so they had
What
this
did they
little
do?
contraption inside a big rig, and it blows the fireworks inside. And
Well,
then
because
it's
they're like
controlled detonation.
driving, and it was like that's because the bomb squad should know better.
Yeah.
You would think.
They need some extra training.
No, we all believe that they underestimated what was inside those fireworks.
Okay.
So
Okay.
as they were doing controlled detonation, the whole thing blew up. And then the thing is, why they do this in like they should have just moved it to a parking lot. Maybe they just don't want to transport.
Yeah, like transporting it is like an issue. It's like once they found it, they should have like commandeered or whatever, the area and then whatever. You know what?
It was inside a neighborhood.
Oh God.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
But so that does prove though, it seems like at least like if the government or whatever authority is able to, I don't know how we got to this topic and how we're talking about fireworks, but
Because 4th of July.
Independence Day.
yeah, exactly. but anyway, do you have these kind of problems in the UK, Greg?
No, because we don't even though
because we got our freedom from you guys.
well, this is true. This is true. You kicked our butts. Basically, you didn't fancy being under our king any longer, which is fine. These things happen.
Tax tea, man.
but we do celebrate Guy Fawkes Night. Now, this is a bit weird, really, because you think back in the day, there was this guy. His name, Guy Fawkes. And he thought to himself, I'm gonna blow up Parliament. I'm gonna blow up the House of Commons and get rid of all the MPs and all that kind of stuff. And in a nutshell, we got caught out. And then since then, we celebrate it November the 5th with fireworks. So it's completely legal over here, even though we had the smog back in the 50s. But we still celebrate it. We still enjoy it. But 9 times out of 10, every year, it blooming well rains. So it's kind of Guy Fawkes Night over the course of about 2 weeks, in all honesty.
It's interesting that like this, you guys have immortalized unintentionally or maybe intentionally a terrorist.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
When you think about it, you're sort of like, is that sort of socially acceptable in this day and age? But
no, probably not. Yeah, the
yeah.
name. I think the trend now is to like not publish the name, not you know what I mean, so that like people don't get the notoriety anymore. So they don't do it for that sake, which is a good thing. But I do remember living in the UK and being terrified of the bonfires. And be like just the like when you're a little kid and like the heat of it and stuff like that, that was like really scary. And I very, very, very clearly remember the
No, I used to. In all honesty, the actual I used to love the big bonfires, these big massive bonfires. Until one time, I got so close to the bonfire, I singed all my eyebrows. I had no eyebrows.
Oh my god!
Can you explain these bonfires? I'm kind of confused.
Yeah,
so you guys have giant bonfires all over London?
And there's like a dude burning on it. There's like there's a guy on a stake.
So is it like a giant Burning Man everywhere?
Yeah,
it's smaller. It's not as big as Burning Man, but
it's like going back to the days where we used to sort of like drown witches, and basically the deal was.
Oh, you guys did that over there? I thought that was something.
Yeah. And basically the deal was that. It's somewhat flawed because if they drowned, then it proves they wasn't a witch. So either way,
you guys did the zone of work, right?
Well, if you're in that situation, you're not going to do well out of it, in all honesty.
There's not. Wow, I didn't know about all that.
But but luckily we get witches in Lego, so that's all right. That is, so that's pretty cool. Thank you, Harry Potter.
I saw fireworks yesterday.
Do you think it's more fun though if it's slightly illegal? Do you think it's just a bit more?
Okay, so for me though, like I hate fireworks because I am not prepared for them when they happen illegally. So like when I'm like walking around the house and I hear the whistle, that scares me because I've been in combat and that sounds like I'm about to die. Like literally it terrifies me. So when I'm expecting it though,
typical, right? That's like a pretty typical reaction for veterans.
Or like the boom, all that kind of stuff. So I really hate it. Like, so it's very inconsiderate. Very inconsiderate. And then when they're doing this, especially for all the animals, like I had to like kick people out in front of my house to like not launch fireworks in front of my house because one, they're not going to clean up after themselves. They're just going to leave it there for me to clean up. So, you know, I don't like the illegal firework deal, but just because it's just people are just inconsiderate. Like it's loud.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be woken up at 2:00 in the morning to a boom. Like that's not.
Oh yeah, no, don't like that. Yeah,
but I like controlled fireworks. Like I know what's happening. I can see it. I know what it is. I'm not freaking out. So, you know, I went to go watch fireworks with my family yesterday, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, and you prepared for it. You kind of prepared for it, so it's all cool. You know,
usually every 4th of July, I'm medicated, so it helps.
Yeah,
See, and that's why like the controlled fireworks, they have them in a certain area where it's not like right next to someone's house. Like, put thought into this stuff, but
But you know, luckily we've got Lego, so there's other ways to sort of burn your money, so to speak, isn't it?
Speaking of Lego,
quite literally burn your money.
Yeah,
that was a nice segue, wasn't it?
Seinfeld.
Yeah, and is anyone gonna comp this?
Never watched it. Never. It's a thing. It's a sitcom. I think it was popular in America. I think that's all the British know about it, in all honesty.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was really popular here. Most of the people in my life are very big fans. Very, very, very big fans. And being Jewish and being an architect, when I was dating quite a bit more, it was always like a conversation starter, apparently. I haven't watched too much of the show, but it's like a lot of Jewish humor, a lot of New York Jewish humor, even though like only two of the main characters are Jewish. Like I think it's just like Jerry and Kramer or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I can't remember. But you know, Jerry Seinfeld is incredibly famous. You know, he had his own like stand-up series, and to give him like a bit of credit, I think he's like one of the masters of doing comedy that's like not dirty, like not like sexual, but still being like really, really and crass, but like still being really, really funny. Like he's the guy who like the whole like Wire, like, you know, airplane bathroom so tiny. I don't know if you guys have heard that whole skit and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but so he's like, it's kind of like older, like, and it really set the stage for a lot of like types of sitcoms, you know, like How I Met Your Mother and stuff like that. So there's definitely, or, you know, that like New York thing, but it was basically about 4 people who like were kind of awful and like functioning throughout the world. Anyway, but I know a lot of people like it, and my theory is that it's going to pull in non-Lego lovers to like buy that set.
So you think it's going to have the same pull like Friends did?
Absolutely. I think that's the whole point of that. You know, like Big Bang Theory did really great, even though it's the worst show on the face of this earth. You know, like lots of stuff like that.
I think though, with Big Bang, at least over here anyway, it kind of did good retrospectively. People didn't really buy it, and then when you could buy it anymore, people wanted it.
Then they wanted it. Yeah.
So typical reaction there.
For Big Bang though, when did that come out? You guys know?
That's by far the most recent one, isn't it? And you think?
I think. Wouldn't the Friends be the most recent?
After Big Bang?
Oh, in terms of the set, sorry. I thought you said
when did it come out?
Oh, yeah.
Like, maybe it just wasn't like... Because Friends came out at a good time when Lego 2 was out.
Yeah,
so,
Big Bang was 4 years ago. Friends was 2 years ago. And of course, we've got the follow-up Friends set now. We've got this Seinfeld one, which as a set, I kind of like it. And I sort of think to myself, well, if I've got the Friends set, the first one, I kind of think to myself, well, maybe I will get the other one. It's like a big TV set, but it's hard to decide what you're going to do with it other than display it. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of but then there's the market of people. People come round to a house and say, "Oh, look at you! You got that Seinfeld show. It's made of Lego," and it's a conversation starter. Just like back in the day, Claire, for you, when people talk about the TV show, you know, maybe there'll be a rerun. Maybe they'll make a movie after it. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm more interested in the Seinfeld set than like the second Friends set for some reason. I'm just like we did Friends. Like,
wonder-
thank you very much. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder why they did 2 friend sets.
I think they were trying to see
It
if
makes
there's
money,
still gonna be,
most likely.
yeah. It's right around the time during the anniversary, so it made sense. They're going off of how well Friends did the first time, so they were thinking that it would do just as good when they didn't realize that a lot of people just bought it for
Figs, right?
the figs and like for being a Friends set, and they're good with that. They don't need a repetition of the same characters in another set that's twice as much money.
A whole Friends line.
Yeah,
No,
but we don't. I don't know how it's doing. Performing wise, but I'd
be surprised if it's done as well as the first one. Because I think the first one, by all accounts,
it's
was
a great price point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good price point. Get some good figures with it. It tells a story. It's good for people that sort of want to reminisce back in the 90s. And
it's an iconic spot from the show, like the coffee, whatever, Central Perk.
Yeah. Yeah, the first one is definitely my favourite out of the two, and it's because it's the original one. I think the second one is actually really long. I mean, from what I've seen of it, it's like, God, you need to put a shelf up on your wall just for that set. So it's kind of one of those ones. I'm like, well, I got the first one. I might pass on the second one. It's not like if they maybe have designed it where you could put one on top of the other.
Someone in Rebrickable did that.
Yeah, there's some really cool Rebrickable.
I'm gonna do one of them.
Yeah,
just so that way.
There's one that's like Big Bang Theory, Friends. Like, there's a bunch. You could like basically like it's really cool, like to have like basically a tower of
shows,
New York apartments. You know what I mean? Is Big Bang Theory based in New York?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was on and off watching that show.
It was always on the plane. I just remember that, and I remember like just hating it.
No, but
I would be down.
We'll see how this one does.
I would be down for what Shy said on Tricky Brick stream. A Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince? Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Fresh Prince, or I liked what I can't remember who said it, but I Love Lucy she was also mentioned on that same live stream.
Oh yeah.
I think that would if it was all black and white.
That would be cool.
I tell you what, the one I'd go for, right? Keeping it American as well. I'd go for a really small set, price point of say £25-30 tops. Mork and Mindy, something like that.
Mork and Mindy.
Yeah, Mork and Mindy.
I would love that. I think it would. Mork and Mindy, to me, I think it would pull in the Robin Williams crowd.
Yeah,
because and oh man, you could do a whole Robin. You could do Mrs. Doubtfire. There's so much fun stuff. Like, I think I would do that. So I'm planning on doing at some point. I have like some sketches out of like a bunch of my favorite San Francisco townhomes and stuff, like the typical like Edwardian and Victorian ones that we have around here that actually really go well with Assembly Square, which you have right behind you, Greg. And I was wondering, I was going to do like the Mrs. Doubtfire house is one of them because it's a corner one and it has a really cool stair feature, and it's also like an Airbnb. And then I could like I don't know, try to make some purist figures to go inside.
That'd be pretty cool.
I think it'd be really fun, right? Yeah.
You have a lot of things you can throw out next convention.
So is that going to happen on Mockumentary?
Oh yeah, that's that we're recording in 50 minutes. Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
So go and watch that after this, folks.
Well, actually, it would have been. You have to rewind.
Oh yeah, this is going to be
now available on replay.
There we go. Time warped. But
I just heard a crash. I will be right back. I'm so sorry. I'll be right back.
No way.
Oh, it's going to be the cat.
Well,
I thought that was funny last week, but the cat was trying to demolish the organizer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was kind of hoping that you would be here to segue this conversation into the financial whatever we're going to talk about. So now that she's not here, let's see what else happened with Lego. It's been pretty quiet.
Well, you say that, but there's a Create Your Expert vehicle coming out.
The truck?
The truck. I mean, where did that come from?
I mean, I ordered that one. I ordered the first thing because Lego doesn't charge you right away. They charge you later for it. So I'm like, I'll be fine by then. It's in October.
Well, that's how I got this guy on this, because Mr. Adidas or Adidas.
Did they just send that by itself before the?
Yeah, I ordered.
Nice.
I pre-ordered because I was thinking, well, what do I want to buy? £95. It's a bit of an odd number anyway for a start. Mm-hmm. So I thought to myself, I'll tell you what I'm going to get. I'm going to get the Bad Batch shuttle. So I thought I'd get that. So I ordered that, and then I got that as well. And I had to buy, just a Lego City set. I think I've got it here actually. Here we go. So I bought this one as well, and that basically put me over the £95 threshold, which is a lot more expensive than $85, by the way, folks. And but instead of having to wait a month,
yours is £90.
£95. That's like a good $100.
No.
Wait, what a weird thing! $100.
That's
anyway. I just wanted this because I genuinely feel that this is better than the bigger one.
It looks really cool.
I'll hang that in my rear view.
Yeah,
right.
I genuinely do. And the stickers were okay. So I love the fact that the sticker's gold. I love the gold sticker.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty good.
I like the fact that the small one is black.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you got these prints on there as well, which is okay. The white it looks grey because it's white, sprayed on black.
Wait, those are printed pieces, right?
Yeah. So there is a bit of exclusivity. It was a shame about him. If that was printed, he'd be worth a lot of money.
That was so much money. Yeah. It costs too much. They already committed to printed pieces for that set.
Yeah,
they'd rather do that one than the minifig.
I would have rather had the print on the minifig.
Yeah, that minifig would have been everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be, and this would be one of the most collectible minifigs from the year so far. As it happens, he's all right. I think he's all right.
Disappointed.
Well, I think I'm gonna get another one today because on Saturday it was Ezra's birthday and he got some Lego gift cards. So I was like, "Oh, can I steal these?" So no, but I know some sets that he wants. By the way, so on Saturday, like it was my son's birthday, and we got a permit for a park, seating, all that kind of stuff. I am over the homeless thing. Like it's really bad because when we got there were a bunch of homeless people sleeping on the tables that were reserved.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, oh my God.
How did you approach it?
Well, I couldn't do anything because I wasn't there, but my wife was there, and then she told the coordinator for the city. The city called the cops. Cops came, kicked them out. And if they didn't want to leave, they didn't want to leave. It's up to them if they wanted to leave.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that makes me angry. And then when they left, I'm looking at the ground and it's full of dry urine, piss, all that kind of everything. I'm like, this is very unsanitary for my kids to be running around on. And I told the coordinator, I'm like, when was the last time you guys cleaned this place? And they're like, we haven't really been doing it since COVID. I'm like, your park and rec's gonna have.
I like that. They haven't been doing it since COVID.
That doesn't make sense. It's an outdoor job. Other people have to work. It's essential work. It's part of the city, and it's not like our tax dollars are going on hold.
I'm just upset they didn't tell me that. Like when I was making a reservation, I'm like, you guys.
They shouldn't be accepting. They also shouldn't be accepting reservations, or they should have like a massive disclaimer saying, "Hey, like conditions are not up to par."
Yeah, something like that.
Or just like come at your own risk type thing.
But we always do things legally, so we went through the city, to ensure that it's ours. Oh, anyways, that's what happened. I'm over the homeless thing. Topic for another day.
Yeah,
I was really upset. Anyways, we were going to Lego Financial Disarray. What?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
so hopefully everything was cool with that crash.
Claire, are you okay?
Yeah, everything is fine. Everything is totally fine. Everything is fine. It was.
It was a big crash, but thank goodness it wasn't a financial one.
No, oh my God, are you kidding me? No, I'd be like calling my company and being like, "Please take me back." The
big Lego sell-off, quick!
I know.
Speaking of which, nice segue into the segue. Claire, you wanted to get into a topic about.
I did. Yeah, I can kind of talk about it. So like ages ago, Greg and I'll just like be transparent how we came to this. We were, doing a post-stream hangout with the lovely Thomas of Tech Productions, one of our favorites, also been a guest here before. Big supporter of the channel. Has basically we were chatting, and this was kind of at the beginning of COVID, or not COVID, but it was like a little bit into COVID, and it was when I was kind of coming into the Lego community. Like it was when Greg and I started really getting to know each other as friends. And we were kind of like talking about our predictions and projections for the trajectory of Lego basically desire and their fulfillment capacity and what their, general moves are going to be, because things were at the time, we'll paint the picture, things were selling off the shelves like crazy. You couldn't buy anything. If something was released online, it would be sold out the first day for at least a few months, and that's still kind of happening now, but not to the same rate. And anyway, yeah, so we talked a lot about that, and Greg had some really poignant and accurate predictions as to what would happen. And I don't know, Greg, do you want to kind of get into them and maybe like talk about like what you saw would happen? How do you feel like it's different now? And then we can even get into like how if we were Lego, what we would have done or wouldn't have done, or what we would do now to kind of predict and prepare for a possible shift in the market.
Yeah, I mean the big shift in the market was like a big wave coming in, and that big wave brought in lots of new people into Lego, because all of a sudden people weren't going out, they wasn't going out for restaurants, wasn't spending money like they used to, and everyone was in a predicament where they're at home. So a lot of people, as we know, reached out and bought Lego, and then with that seemed to bring a massive influx of people into the community as well. So all of a sudden we've got so many more people out there coming online, getting involved into it, people doing live streams, getting good figures of people watching them, and certainly getting more figures of people actually watching anything that anyone would give out and anything like that in terms of content and stuff like that. So there was all of a sudden, where we'd always had the rich pickings, we could just get anything whenever we wanted. I could just nip down to Leicester Square or maybe go to Bluewater or wherever in London to pick up a Lego set. I couldn't. I was at the mercy of Lego.com having what I wanted when I wanted it. And of course, then there's all delivery shenanigans with Brexit and all this kind of stuff. So I wasn't able to put as quick a content out as ever. And not that I'm prolific anyway in that respect, but you kind of want a bit of an edge on things to try and get stuff out as quick as you can. But the thing was, just like waves, just like the water in waves, at some point it starts going out again. And I think we're getting near to that cusp, because I'm already noticing the change. People
on the YouTube platform, especially, yeah,
and especially when you hit stores, you see all the sets on shelves. Used to be empty.
Is that because Lego has finally been able to fulfill it, and there's always like a delay, obviously, or an unpredicted demand?
I think Lego did a really good job. I promoted this last time, but they did a really good job adjusting to what they had in inventory and shifting it all over the world. So like we all saw it, like I would say end of last year, we started seeing European sets in North American stores. That was a huge loss financially to shift demand from one spot to another. Like the profit margin definitely shrunk significantly, but they were able to do it. I'm sure that with one factory down, like they were able to at least get in control of what they could for the end of last year to beginning, especially before the holidays, and then afterwards till now. So, and remember, this planning of how to adjust their inventory or what sets come out, this is planned years before it actually happens. So what we're seeing now is planned 3 years ago, and what happened in the COVID was planned 4 years ago before, all that kind of stuff. So we got to commend Lego, even though we saw a huge shortage and a lot of fandom came out for adjusting what they could and fulfilling their promises with Walmart and Target and other big box stores where they have to legitimately fill those aisles.
I don't think if I were them, I wouldn't have built a new factory. I wouldn't have invested in new infrastructure. I would have just maxed out what was in capacity, and then none of that. I would and then I probably would have pulled back on releases. And fulfilled.
For our wallets, that would have been fantastic if they'd done that, because during that period of time, I mean, let's face it, we're kind of over the cusp of it all now, and things are return. Life is normalizing again, but Lego has got to adapt back to that again. It was unprecedented. I mean, literally, you could quite comfortably spend thousands each month on Lego sets, on new Lego sets as well.
I think a lot of the new people that are that were, especially at the time coming into the hobby, were coming in with deep pockets because I mean, I think it was all over the map, but for sure what it did is it brought people with expendable income that were working from home, that didn't have any kind of reduction in salary, maybe like their bonuses were held and or something like that, you know, maximum. But a lot of like tech companies, for example, which, you know, do foster a positive culture for something like Lego. A lot of people that work in tech are big Lego people. And so it gave them the time, the capacity, and they still had the resources that they weren't spending on travel and going out and restaurants, and they were throwing them at this hobby. And so, you know, what we ended up also seeing was a huge spike in the aftermarket, particularly on modulars, which tells you that the adult market was coming in hot, because the modulars is really for the adult market. I really believe so. And so things like Brick Bank shooting up exorbitantly, it couldn't get off the shelves when it was there. I remember, and do you know what I mean? Things like that, like the Parisian restaurant, these things are $1,000+ now. You cannot get them new in box. Like, I mean, you can, but it would be idiotic. But do you know what I mean? Things like that.
Yeah, but with that in mind, you know, for the person that is not maybe someone who's less impulsive, is, well, with that in mind, wait until it goes out. Wait until the tide's gone out. The market will drop, because I tell you what's going to happen as well. There's going to be a lot of people out there going, I bought this Lego when I was, you know, during COVID. I'm not really into it anymore. I'm going to start selling it off. So, so the aftermarket will drop. It will. I wouldn't say it'll collapse, because you know, Lego. I mean, no one throws Lego out or anything like that, and there's always a sort of a tangible price tag to it. But
maybe they'll sell it for what they bought it at, or a small profit, or something.
Bare minimum. Yeah, the only thing people generally lose out on is postage. But
like, you know, Apocalypseburg is something I like lost out on. It shot up in price. I like it, but I don't know how I actually love it, but I don't know how I would display it. And that's one that I'm kind of going to test the waters and see if it drops back down in price, because I've made my own share of mistakes with the aftermarket, which is, you know, a gamble within itself. But like, I ended up, we've talked about it many times, but I bought the Batman tumbler the day before they announced that a new one is coming out this year. Or that we got, not they announced, but we got a leak. So it's possible that it might not happen. It's possible that it might look completely different. And if so, then I'm still very happy because I got a good price and I got you, and I love Batman.
And you got the figure rumored one. Did you get the figures with that one?
I did get the figures with it too, and those are very it's new in box. I think I got it for like just under $400, which now goes for over $5 something. So and with shipping and stuff. So I saved like $150 essentially.
And if the rumored one is a small one, then you're still
good. You
still win.
Exactly. But even if I'm not, so I'm keeping it new in box. Not that I like don't have a backlog to like, you know, contend with right now, but that one I'm not touching it. And what I'm interested is also, like, Greg, investment. Like, I know that you sometimes like will not necessarily flip sets, but like I know that you sold your coins. I've sold a couple of my coins. And you know, I think the investment topic is really interesting because are we feeding into the scalpers? Are we feeding into the aftermarket inflation prices by buying a couple sets and holding them for a few years? You know what I mean? Is it like, are we just justifying it because it's what everybody else does? Like, I'm really curious, like, how you feel about that.
That was one of the main reasons I got into Lego, in all honesty. I was a bit bored with Bitcoin, shares, you know, throw some money into healthcare, all that kind of stuff. And that's it, really. It's kind of safe as houses. I was just a bit bored. And I just ran the London Marathon as well. And I was buying little bits of Lego here and there. I was kind of thinking, okay. And then the more I looked into it, the more I liked what I was seeing. And I thought, okay, investment-wise, this could be, you know, something I could kind of make it a bit of an interest, maybe a bit of a hobby, and then invest in them. And then, you know, and as that grew, after about a year of doing that, I thought, you know what, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. So that's what I did. But in terms of investment, see, there are things that will flip. But quite often what I do is I will get something that's a gift with purchase. Say, for example, here's an example, the Yoda lightsaber, or the hilt. Okay, I got that, and Thomas from Tech Productions, he wanted it, but he didn't want to buy what was it? The set.
Mos Eisley.
Yeah, Mos Eisley. He didn't want to buy that. Fair enough. It's a massively expensive set. So I just said to him, I tell you what I do, right? When I get it, we'll look on the market and I'll give it to you at average sort of price. And back then that was about £40, which was really reasonable because now it goes for about £80. So sometimes you can get a set and you know that you're going to get a certain amount of money for it and then just flip it. The coins, I was not interested in the coins whatsoever. So I just thought, well, there's always a chance that Lego is going to come out with a whole new batch of them, which they are. And that was that. So I'm just not into coins. That's it's just not my thing. But when it comes to other sets, so for example, let's talk about the castle in the forest. On Bricklink. I bought 2 of those because I thought if there's one thing that people love in Lego, 2 things that would always tie together is castles and Lego. I'll get enough of them. So I thought, well, I'm going to buy one. Right? I could have bought 5, but I thought, no, I don't want to do that because there's going to be a big demand for this. Yeah. I bought one. I thought to myself, right, I'm going to build that 100%. And but the other one, I think, well, I could build it, but I might just put it away. Now, what I could do, right, is just flip that one, but I'm not going to do that because I just think that's not my style. What I've got it for, though, is just in case I want to get something else in the future, and I might want to trade for it, and it's a strong trade.
Yeah, those are good trades. Yeah,
so those are good trades. So that's why I do that. But when it comes to investing in a lot of stuff, the best stuff I think to invest in, personally speaking, is something like Speed Champions. They generally go down to about 50%, and they're pretty cheap to post. So for me, that makes excellent, investments. But for example, you could buy the Bugatti, the Big Technics Bugatti set, hold on to that for years. But, for what it is, for say, I don't know, the cheapest I've ever seen it go price-wise is say £200. But buy £200 worth of Bugatti Speed Champions, right? And I think you'll find that the Speed Champions are going to make a lot more money than the big set itself. So, and it's just learning that market and seeing how things kind of work. And sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Star Wars is always a bit of an odd one to invest in because you can bet your life 5 years later, they're going to come out with another one. So there's
a dangerous one.
Time to shift.
I feel like modulars are good too. I feel like those have always gone up and stuff like that. But the thing, like for me, I have this like desire to like buy. There's like certain ones that I'd like to buy for investment and put aside, like the roller coaster, the haunted mansion, the modulars that are on the shelves right now. Like to me, I think those would like really go up in value, and also would be really fun to kind of like. If you really think about it from an investment perspective, that return is not as high as like other things that you can invest that kind of money in. But the risk is relatively low.
Yep.
Risk is low.
Especially if you are if you are a fan. So like you could theoretically like sell at cost or just like whatever, you could like apply inflation to it and just sell a little bit, whatever your dollars would have been, but most of us are losing money in the bank anyway right now. And then you could sell that. So it's you're never gonna like, it's never gonna net to zero, like if you put it in the market or something like that, or other ways. And so it is like a low risk investment, but it's not like the super highest reward. Do you know what I mean? When you doubling your money is probably the max that you can get on some of these things. And that's not like, like if you do want to, I just want to make it clear for any of our listeners and stuff, if you do want to like invest in the market, you do get quite a bit more than that if you are successful at it over the long term. Let me reiterate, over the long term. So like investing in the market is something you need to think about at a 10 to 20 year life cycle. And so just be conscious of that. While I think the Lego market is more of like a 5-year turnaround for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it is, So, and a lot of people have space, right? So they can like, I don't personally have space. If I had the space, I would buy all those sets that I just listed off.
You see, what the thing that the modulars are brilliant at is there's one comes out every year. Beginning in January. It's the start of the new year. It's modular season, right? Secondly, people intrinsically that collect Lego have got issues because they like to collect everything. They think to themselves, "Oh, that's nice. I like this modular. I'm going to buy the last one, and then I'm going to buy the last one of that." And then the next thing you know, they're spending like £10,000 on all the modulars. Because people, when they collect stuff, They want to collect all of it and be wholesome. You know, that's why Monkey Kid, to a lot of people, is very cool. And they haven't got into Ninjago because Ninjago is so vast that they can't possibly collect it all. So they don't go there. So they go for the Monkey Kid sets instead. Yeah. And, you know, and I think they're quite good investment sets, to be honest. Because
I was going to say that. I think they're a hidden gem. If you look on the aftermarket right now, sets that are currently on shelves are going over retail.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I think there's a distribution problem with them. I don't think the majority of people actually have access to them. I think like with our, like, you know, North American, UK conversations that we have, it seems like everybody does, but I don't think globally they are actually like completely available. So I think
you can only get them at Lego stores or Lego Shop at Home.
Exactly. And so a lot of people there's a lot of countries that don't have Lego stores, you know, and there's a lot of people who live in those countries with expansive resources and they want the Lego. And so I think a lot of that Monkey Kid is going to
and the prices, I think Monkey Kid is actually quite good value for money now. I don't think the first wave particularly was. In hindsight, though, what I will say about Monkey Kid, that it's got the best side builds ever.
The pieces, the new molds, the designs, it really incorporates all of the best things about the modern wave of Lego in terms of like, you know, like build techniques, and it's really brought in, you know, a lot of like it's very,
Plus
very,
they have
very
a show
good.
with it.
Yeah, they have the show with it.
If only they show it here.
I know. I think it was.
Well, that's what they need. It's silly. Why they haven't aligned the TV series with the Lego set?
Because we're not their target demographic. No. The target demographic is Asia, and that's where they're doing it. And and I trust in the marketing system and the beast that is Lego at the same time. So I try to, you know, it's not my expertise, but I think it would do well here. I really think it would, especially, you know, at least on the coasts in the US. I think it would do really, really well.
I'm curious, does anybody know how well it's doing in Asia?
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how to find out either. I'm really curious.
It's a private company.
Yeah, but also as a consumer, you can typically see things flying off the shelf. We can't even. I don't even have that. You know, we don't even have that tangible thing. But what would be? I mean, I definitely am like literally waiting until the day until it's like really safe to go to Hong Kong and Singapore. Hong Kong probably not for a very long time. It's very sad what's going on over there. But
that's the thing, though. We don't have any connections, YouTube wise, social media wise, with anyone in the Asian market.
No way we're gonna have one in China. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, that's not happening.
But we could possibly have Japan and Korea does have the freedom to do that. But the only person that I know is the guy that does all the secondhand, or not secondhand, but third.
Yeah.
Scotty, Brick Me Up Scotty.
Brick Me Up Scotty, yeah.
And he is like buying and reselling, not Lego. I think he might have some Lego, but he is actually probably a good person. He would be a great person to have on here. Sorry, Greg. But yeah, I mean, like that would be really interesting. We gotta get that connection. But
that's the thing though. With the community, like Shy, right? The whole thing, the thing I love about Lego, and this is basically a side thing that for me was a side note, a bit of a footnote in it all, really. Yeah. Is that when I first started my YouTube channel, I discovered very quickly that I just wanted to, I could, if I wanted to, I actually enjoyed doing the live stream. So I started a live stream because it was me and a friend that started our YouTube channel. So I started this live stream called Double Bubble, which basically it was me and my friend.
Terrible branding, Greg. That is.
I know, but I wasn't into branding then. But you see, the thing is, the London, but it's not Double Bubble as in the game. Over here in London, if you say, "Oh, I'm doing Double Bubble tomorrow," it means you're getting paid twice the amount.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's like an investment live stream. Were you talking about like Lego investing or
no? It's just basically I was doing it with someone else. So Double Bubble just sounded a bit funny. It's a little bit London-y.
And that got it. Okay.
So I'm a bit more brand aware these days. So what I've noticed though is that I always, when I do like something like London Calling or something like that, I try and pull in people from all over the world if I can. The further the better. New Zealand. As far as I think New Zealand is probably the furthest I've got so far, but I'm amazed, and we can't. I want to get Asian people on. You know, I want someone from Singapore. I want someone on from Hong Kong. But I hope they speak okay English anyway. But I don't see them anywhere. And this is
Greg. You should reach out to Brick Me Up Scotty. He's in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Mhm.
I will definitely be doing
Yeah.
that.
That's the only
one.
I know that's like in there. And then there's like one girl
speaks-
that's
Yeah, but he speaks perfect English.
he grew up, I think, he's like born and raised in the US, and then he's out there. Yeah.
Because for me, the surprise thing about the whole thing has been the community. It really has. And
Well, you're so good at putting that together. And the reason I so crassly or casually say you should reach out is because if anybody's going to reach out, I think you're really good at that. You can be like, hey, I host this show. Like I bring the people together, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you have like, you put your I was going to say you put your foot in your mouth, but that's not, you put your money where your mouth is, you know, and so you absolutely do put your foot in your mouth sometimes, but no, it's fine. You can watch London Calling for that sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's part of my charm, Claire.
Exactly. No, but to be honest, Greg, no, it's great. Like I remember when I was like first starting out here and I was like getting to know people, and London Calling was such like an exciting thing. I mean, it still is. But it was so exciting because it immediately puts people in contact with each other and it creates friendships within creators, and the consistency and the dependency of it is comforting, Greg. Like it is, have you ever missed a week?
Do you know what? This is something I was just talking to Shy about. I'm actually on holiday at the moment. I've never, ever missed a week. But this week, which is basically, folks, the week of Wimbledon, is the week that I might actually duck out, because I do a stream with Sai called The Backlog, and sometimes, quite often, you'll see me on Sai stream on a Thursday, and he's not streaming this week. And I thought to myself, well, maybe this Friday could be the Friday that I just duck out for 1 week, recharge, because I am on holiday as well, and you know, there's that balance thing with you know, keeping my wife happy and doing things, getting out there, feeling like I'm on holiday, and not having this kind of, I wouldn't say it was a cloud. It's just always there in the back of your head, thinking, "Oh, you must do something for your YouTube channel and stuff like that." Do you know what I mean? It's just always there,
even if it's like your hobby or whatever. Yeah, it's
but you got to listen to that other voice too that says you got to do something for yourself.
Yeah, if that voice is there, then I think I support you, Greg.
And I'm one of these people that if I come away from something, then I want it more, and I'll go back to it, recharge, more energy and stuff like that. And so I always think London Calling for me is, I don't care I don't really care if anyone builds any Lego on that particular stream. All I'm interested in is the people. That's it. I can get the biggest YouTuber on there. I can get the smallest who's just started. And that's something I'm going to do for the 72-hour stream. So I'm going to do, and this isn't a self-plug, folks. This is just an idea that
plug yourself away. It's okay.
Plug. Wait, what are you doing? I didn't know about the 72-hour stream. Tell me more.
So there's this thing every year that happens, and it's one of those things. It's kind of there, but it sometimes goes below the radar. But when just about as it kicks off, it goes crazy. So this year, the 72-hour live stream, I think it's something like on the 8th of August. It's in August anyhow. So I asked, and it was agreed that I could do my part of the 72-hour stream that starts on Friday and ends on Sunday, and in some countries it's Monday, if I could do it whilst I do my London Calling slot, you know, because that pretty much, folks, for
that works for you.
A year and a bit, I've been doing it every Friday, so that works for me. But what I'm going to do this year, I'm going to do something a bit different. It's going to be a Star Wars theme that some people might think, oh, there's nothing new there. But halfway through the stream, because bearing in mind it's 3 hours long, I'm going to do a quiz. But there's going to be 3 teams in the quiz, right? There's going to be the Sith, there's going to be the Jedi, and there's going to be the bounty hunters. Now, what, again, makes that a bit more interesting is that the bounty hunters are actually going to be subscribers. So I'm going to have subscribers on the stream as well, right? And these are people that at the moment are kind of interested in getting on the YouTube bandwagon, and this is going to give them a bit of a foot up, and it introduces them.
So how are you doing that? Are you just going to pull them out of the chat, or are you
I've pre-asked already.
Okay.
I've got 2 peeps that are interested.
Interesting.
And that's because I do find that sometimes when you kind of get people that ask a lot of questions and that are in your streams quite often, and you sort of think to yourself, you get a feeling, you sort of think, oh, I think you might be interested in maybe YouTube, or I think you'd be good at YouTube. You know, there's some people that I've met that want to do it, and I think they would be brilliant at it. but of course life gets in the way and things like that. So I'm going to be putting them in as well, but they're going to have everyone in the chat on their side as well. So they're most likely going to win it, in all honesty. But just for that hour during that stream, there'll be a quiz, and then there'll be prizes and all that kind of stuff as well, just to make it a little bit interesting. Change the gear up a little bit, because what I don't want to do over the course of a 72-hour live stream is just do what I normally do on London Calling, because I could do that every week, and everything I do, generally speaking, so if I do something with, say, tech, London tech, if I do something with the backlog, if I do something with myself, I call it the London Eye. It has to be different. It has to be a slightly different vibe to it, because otherwise I'm just reinventing the wheel every time I do a stream or something.
And that's what makes you different as far as streaming is concerned. Because a lot of streams that you see on YouTube, they're just literally just hanging out, building something, or BSing. You have an equation per show, which each stream, which is very rare to see. I can only name like maybe 3 or 4 other streamers, YouTubers, big decent ones too, that are doing the same thing. And those are the streams that I like to listen to, because you have engagement. You make sure there's no dead air time, which in streams happens a lot.
Yeah.
So I think you said it the best there, though. It's a show.
You
It's
made a
more than
show,
a stream.
yeah.
It's a show.
Yeah. And there's different, I think there's different streams intentionally out there. And I think it's important that whatever, your stream may be, it's important that you like make that clear. You know what I mean? Either you do a show or like a super chill stream, or like, do you know what I mean? And like, or if it's like a one-on-one, like whatever it's going to be, like or if it's like a sorting stream and it's just like an ASMR, like kind of like, you know what I mean? I feel like that, and I feel like your show is like very clear. You introduce everybody, you have consistency with that. It's like very much like, we joke that like, we come on your show and then we have to wait 25 minutes to get on, but like, it's like, I'm kidding, but like I'm not.
Those
but,
intros.
She's not kidding, folks. It's the truth. People fall asleep while I'm trying to introduce them.
But you are very formal about it, and it's like very comforting, at least for me, who comes from like a very professional environment. Like I really liked it that you get your email address and you say like, this is what time you need to show up, and this is what you need to have, and this is what you need to do.
Complete opposite of what we do.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. Like
opposite.
Cali Brick Clique, if you are on Cali Brick Clique, you will be contacted via Instagram. It will be delayed. We have trouble contacting you.
Minutes before.
Yeah, exactly. Ninja and I will probably be late. Like if Shy is late, it's real bad. It means he completely forgot or something awful happened. But like, it's all over the place. There's always an echo. We always forget to do our intro. It is the absolute total opposite of London Calling.
Thanks, Claire.
Yeah.
Driving us through the mud.
Hey, no, that was me. I'm part of it. I'm part of it.
It's cool.
But we don't. I mean, we don't pretend to be anything else. So that's the key.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
But it's organic. That's the thing. Like people come on my channel, they sort of say, "Well, what do you want me to talk about?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. Whatever
you
want to
do.
talk about." It's not. The thing is, right? What I learned very quickly, and it was me and Hive that discovered this, right? Because one of my favorite streams is the stream that I do with Hive, the transatlantic live stream. We were one of the first people to do that. An American and someone from the UK. And he is, honestly, he's like my brick brother. He really is. He's a lovely guy. But he's a very different YouTuber to me. But we've just got that chemistry. And that's the thing you must have. If you're doing something with someone else, it must have chemistry. Otherwise, it would just fall apart and you're just there for the sake of it. So, and he's kind of, he's edgier than I am, where I'm trying to be a bit, basically a bit cheeky. That's me in a nutshell. A bit cheeky, a charmy, cheeky, chirpy Londoner. But the thing is, we learn quite quickly, we like promoting other people. And so I get people on and it's all about them. It's all about, there's 3 factors when you do a live stream. There's you, right? There's the people you have on, and there's the people in the chat. And the most important elements of those are the people in the chat and the people that are on the panel. And what you've got to do is engage them with each other. And that's what I do. That's my thing. And that's all I try. I just link the dots, right? I very rarely build any Lego on London Calling. I tried that last week with the Monkey Kid themed one. I got halfway through it, and it was good. That was something different. And I even asked everyone in the survey, do they mind if I once a month I do a theme stream? And they're like, yeah, go for it. Like 80, there's about 120 people voted on it, and 86% of them want me to do that. That's great. So that's giving them a little bit, but it's all about immersing yourself within the panel and engaging them with the chat. And there's people you get on sometimes, they're very loud, and that's great. And there's people that are very quiet, and you've got the people that are on there that are quiet because they're great at what they do. They're all good Lego YouTubers, and you pull them out and you give the limelight to them, right? And that's what it is. And hopefully you get a bit of kudos for it. And that really is it in a nutshell. That's why
I love how you force it too. You put them on the big screen.
Mm-hmm. Put the pressure.
Especially if they start eating something or they're having a scratch. What are they up to? Or if they go, that's the thing, Shy Time, the amount of times your kids are screaming and you're like, oh, don't tread on the tortoise or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, now he's gone. Let's have a look. Let's see what new
Let's get into what's going on in his life right now, because it's definitely interesting.
But that's the thing, you see. The thing is, right, we are all normal people doing something. I wouldn't say it was abnormal, but we invest a lot of time, a lot of effort. I mean, what, as a percentage of the nation of the United Kingdom or the world, as it were, would put all this in a particular room, and talk about it. It's very unnatural. It's unnatural for someone to put a Lego bag hooked up on a door. I mean, why would you do that? I just do it because I like Lego. And it looks good in the background, I hope.
Right.
I don't know.
A poster. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's slightly abnormal, but it's me plugging in to what is the Lego community. We are all we're all pieces of a bigger thing. Think of it as that we're all pieces of a set. I don't know, elements.
Yes.
I know that, I think, is it Sands or somebody? I don't remember who said it, but it was like, instead of calling it a community, which I think does get overused a little bit, I think just a tad, it's kind of a neighborhood a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Cute.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
No, I like that, and that's a good analogy because it's almost like circle.
It's the good and bad as well too. Like, community tends to have like a very positive connotation as well, and like almost to a false. But like it's a neighborhood. It's still a group of people that have like the dramas and all of it together. Yeah. But
some neighbors don't get along.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's human nature, and that's the beautiful thing of it. We're humans. We're not all going to get on. We can't be all things to all men, and I like to keep things calm. I like to, as much as I'm a bit hyper, but the thing is, we are at the end of the day humans, and we can't all get on with each other. We have circles of friends. No. And we talk to other friends. We go, oh yeah, so and so's up to this today, and it's like, well, why did they do that? Why did they say that? And all this sort of thing. But you know what? We'll all go there one day ourselves. We'll all do something. We'll say something that will be completely taken out of context and taken the wrong way and hung out to dry, and then everything will settle down again. Right. It's circles.
It totally is. I think also with like the kind of the just to not to force us to wrap it up, but I was just kind of also thinking that like.
Obviously, that's what she's doing, guys.
No,
I like that. No. You just planted a seed in their heads, folks. That's a very professional move. I like what you did there, Claire. Well done. Good stuff.
But just the weight of the internet that's cast over the neighborhood is, and the fact that some people are monetized or not, and some people want to project a certain brand on the internet, and others want to project a different brand that might counter it. I think a lot of people, it makes it a little bit more realistic as to life, to that neighborhood. It's like how you want to mow your lawn, or how you want to like present yourself to the community and stuff like that. But behind closed doors, which we also have in the community, we talk, privately and stuff, which is great. Sometimes, you can be yourself a little bit more. And I think it's really key to other creators that are out there, or people that want to join the community, to respect other people's decisions of how they want to present themselves, but also understand that could also be different from how they are behind the scenes. And I think it's important to remember that people are human, and if, they have like 400,000 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers. It is their decision of how, they want to present themselves on the internet. And so we always tell people when they come on to Cali Brick Clique that, if there's something that, like Greg, for example, if there's something that we said that you weren't comfortable with, you have the time for us to like take it out, because we respect the reality of the internet and the reality of the brand and
other people's brand. Yeah,
exactly. And the importance of that and people's identity. And, that doesn't take away from the authenticity or the message or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? If anything, it's like, it creates, I think, a safer space than like a natural live stream or something like that. And I know that, so Shy talked about that on Tricky Bricks and stuff. And I think that that's really important for a community and for a neighborhood to have like a safe space. And there are other platforms that do that. I think like, Michaela's really good at, she's like doing Thoughtful Bricks. That's also a different, kind of medium to do that, and then like London Calling and its dependency of going there. That's really serious. And you know what I mean? Like there's different places. And then what I like also about London Calling, by the way, is the fluctuation of content and conversation that's there. And then, I just think it's really important that we all realize that we're all human and we need community and we need neighborhood, and it's important to have safe spaces. And I hope that we can provide that for a lot of people, including our listeners.
That's a term we're going to use now.
Definitely.
Neighborhood. It's the hood. Oh, shoot.
Oh, no.
Oh no,
I'm rolling with it.
I'm rolling with it. Yeah, that's a new thing I'm gonna be saying. Screw the
I
community.
feel like that's cultural appropriation for as a privileged white woman. I can't do that. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, darn.
Wait, what? Say that what neighborhood you're from?
No.
That's the very thing that you should never say in real life.
Oh yeah. Let's not dox ourselves. Yeah, I had to like private a video yesterday. Thank you, Doug. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good one. I'm like, oh no, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, anyway. my buddy, it's fine. When you bring your friends from real world, you have to like, they don't understand like the internet safety stuff.
Yeah. Did you know what? I had my family over. So my last live show, I did a London Eye. I haven't done a London Eye in ages. I thought I'm going to do one. Straight after the England game, we won. We beat the Ukraine 4-0. And it was an emphatic victory. We walked in, it was like a walk in the park. I came up, I was super hyped up. I said to some of my family, I said, do you want to come up and stream with me? Just do something completely, everybody's welcome sort of thing. And it was like, no. But you know what? It's just all about the people. It really is. The fact is, we're all got a kind of how can I put it? A slightly abnormal interest in this thing, the brick. We really have, folks, and that's what brings us all together. It can also be something that tears us apart, because some of us have got quite strong feelings about Lego, and that's fine. That's what they're there for. It's all different degrees of awesomeness, I think we could say. And that's life. It really is. It's just life.
But we're all bonded by the brick. That's all that matters.
Indeedy.
Wow.
Sheesh. What?
That's a good way to end it. Hey, Ninja.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. So yeah. I don't have anything else to say. You guys have anything else?
Well, thanks, Greg, for coming on. Like I said, Nick, you're one of the few out there that have a really successful way of streaming, that you're growing through streaming, and keep it up. Keep that neighborhood growing. We hope to have you on here again.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very privileged to be here. To be, I'm not necessarily the first Englishman, but I know I'm the first Londoner to be on. So thank you so much. There's only one other thing that could pull me away from Wimbledon at the moment, folks, and it's being on this podcast.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh no.
That hit me in the heartstrings.
Sports ball.
Yeah. You up for tennis?
All right, Andrew, roll us out, bro.
Be easy.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
That was great. That was awesome.
We had a new term.
Neighborhood. I don't know if it was. I know that Sans hates saying. He hates community. I think he hates that. I know that.
No, listen, I don't like it either. I like neighborhood way better.